Hello everybody, this is C4 Explorer, and I'm on my next infiltration of the day, and this one promises to be pretty cool. Now first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Urban Explorations, who I've mentioned in the last few videos. Good friend of mine, for letting me know how to infiltrate this place. Gave me some information. He's been here before, and let's see here. Just kind of checking out the lay of the land here. This looks like a kitchen. I think this is a restaurant part. Oh wow. Okay, so apparently I didn't even use the right door, but I found a way. But yeah, he gave me some info on how to get in here, because I had no idea if I would be able to or not, and he told me, he said, yeah, it's it's one of those, I don't want to say it's easy, but we're here. Today I'm in a mall, an abandoned time capsule mall. A lot of you urban explorers will know this place. It's become pretty popular, and I haven't done a whole lot of malls. I've done a couple. I did one that was partially active, dying mall. Yeah, we got payphones, everybody. I'm gonna make a call here. Hello? Hello? That's cool. And then I did one here not too long ago. And yes, I know I'm pointing at the floor. I'm seeing, I mean, there's a chance I'm probably going to end up seeing the name of this place on my video, but and it's been done, but I don't want to just absolutely call it out. I did another one that was pretty well gutted. And so, this is what I've been looking for. Is this kind of a, it looks pretty well intact for the most part. We got the, okay, that's, yeah, we got the skylight, got some natural lighting. I'm hoping there's nobody in here. I think this is the area where I really need to avoid, maybe, because there are a few properties occupying this building. Stroller parking. And one of them, I believe, is the local fire department. As far as I know, there's no cameras or anything. Oh, wow. This mall was probably, I think it was probably built in like the 70s, 60s, 70s. I don't know how long it lasted. Let's see here. Oh, wow. I love this. And it's like it has power. I mean, it doesn't, but, or not that I know of. But, there goes the valley, a little restaurant. With the skylights, you get really good natural lighting. Wow. Just take it all in, folks. There is some vandalism, and you kind of expect that. You have this aesthetic lonely chair chilling. for the food court. I was told the food court is really cool. We got reflections of me in the echoes of Italy. Oh, wow. Yeah. Of course, I'm old enough to remember the mall craze. I mean, that was where you hung out. You could buy anything from A to Z. You could buy cutlery sets. You could get your photo taken and put on a hat. Food. We didn't have wireless phones back then. They had all kinds of water features and natural plant features, and like Spencer's and just everything. And they started dying out. They started losing their anchors like JCPenney and JCPenney and Belk down here in the South. Those big stores. God, what am I thinking of here? Montgomery Ward. That would carry the mall, basically, carry all these little shops. And this section's been walled off over here, so unless there's a hallway over there. Shoe fits. Oh, okay, what is that? Might be, I don't know if that's an exit or what. We might have to backtrack and go that other way. Wow, this is so cool. Yeah, this is into, I guess, like the loading docks. Boiler rooms, maybe electrical maintenance. Yeah, there's nothing over here. Yeah, the big mall I know we always went to when I was a little kid was Metro North in Kansas City, which is now demolished. It's been demolished for years. And it had a really cool, like one of those open air pavilions, 2 stories, and you could, they had these balloons, these like little hot air balloons that would shoot up, and there was a big water feature under it, and they'd shoot up, and then they'd come back down. And it was cool, and you're a kid, you like balloons. So, that was always a big thing, like when I'm originally from Maryville, Missouri. We'd go down to Kansas City, and that was the mall we'd hit up. And, I was always, I want to see the balloons, I want to see the balloons. Oh, wow. And I was not an urban explorer yet when that place went under, or by the time it got demolished. That would have been cool to like walk through that. And oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've seen a lot of videos about malls, and it inspires a nostalgia, because they were such a key point in people's lives. That's just what you did. You got to the mall, and I'm not gonna ramble too much. We all know, and those of you who don't know, yeah, you missed out. Okay, yeah, these are the little coin-op candy machines that he was telling me about. Wow, I remember those. Do they still have these anywhere? I never really pay attention. Where you get your little gumdrops and stuff. Go to my GoFundMe. Give me $3 and I'll eat any one of these. I'm kidding. I don't have a GoFundMe, and no. Hell no. Oh, those are those are Runts. Runts candy. That is cool. Wow. going to this store here. But yeah, I know. Let's see. I remember when Antioch Mall got demoed, and I wish. I mean, it wasn't too long after it got demoed that, or demoed, whatever, that I moved to North Carolina, and I would start my urban exploring, quote unquote, career. Wow, fitting rooms. Okay. I wish I would have gone in there because they were demolishing it, and then, I mean, it was one of those where you had so many entry points, and that would have been a cool one. Bannister Mall, I think, has been demolished. We used to go there. There was a restaurant called Annie Santa Fe. It was a Mexican restaurant, really good. They had awesome fried ice cream. That was down in Raytown, Missouri. And we actually ended up moving. I think there were several reasons, but not long after, or well, I guess I should say the story before I say not long after that. There had been one night where we went out there and eaten dinner, and apparently, like 30 minutes after we left, there had been a shooting, and my mother. I mean, she freaked out, and I'm not trying to like necessarily make a joke about it or anything. Obviously somebody, I don't remember, who the victim or victims were, but I mean, yeah, it's a tragic thing that happens. But anyways, she was like, "We need to get out of this neighborhood. We need to get out of this area." So we moved to North Kansas City, and I've been back there since, having moved to North Carolina. And they're trying to, I guess, beautify, gentrify, whatever you want to call it, that area. And I know Cerner, an IT company, moved in and took a lot of that land, and pretty sure they demolished them all, or they might have reused it. I'm not sure. But now, I guess like all this going on is just, kind of my, oh wow, that is beautiful. There's a food court. It's so beautiful. Sunlight. All that is to say that, it's just like, yeah, you get those memories from your local mall. I guess it's just like anything, you explore your old school that you went to, or just, any kind of whatever. Anyway, I know I'm just, yeah, I just woke up, I had breakfast, I didn't explore, and, I like to talk in my videos. I mean, I don't do editing, I don't have background music, and hey, we're here for a little bit. Might as well just kind of chit chat. Foot Locker, I remember Foot Locker. Yeah. This is, I want to say, I think it's my first entirely dead mall where they hadn't stripped out all the storefronts. Uh-huh. All right. Try to keep the name out of that. Oh, okay. Wow. Only high back chair. Got in here kind of a food food place, maybe? Or I guess that's just we got wood floors or fake veneer wood. Those look like heat lamps. I don't know what this was. Oh, wow. This is awesome. And, like, coming in here, I had like 3 people saw me skulking. There was a lady in a vehicle. I was on the, like, actually in the parking lot over on the other side looking for the infiltration point, and I ended up parking kind of beside her at the gas station, and she was motioning me. She was asking if I had a cigarette, so I did that. And she kept looking over at me at first, and I'm like, why are you looking at me? And she wasn't anything threatening or whatever, but of course I'm on my paranoid mode right now. Oh my God. We're about to wet ourselves so much. But anyway, yeah, so I came back around. I finally found, I was on the wrong side, so I came around to the other side and got the picture that I had from Urban Explorations. And then there's these 2 guys. I parked like across the street, of course. And, well, why is there a light right there? I gotta be really careful. Is that a mirror? Yeah, okay, it's a mirror. Only chair in a fitting room. Yeah, there was just 2 guys standing at the restaurant, and I think they were like out there smoking or something. But one of they just kept looking at me, and they knew because I was getting dressed. I was sitting there, I was not dressed, but I was putting on all my stuff and my gear. I start walking across the highway, and I'm like, you guys totally know what I'm doing, because I ain't the first guy to do this. And then I get over to the front, and it's wide open. I mean, everybody and their mother's gonna see you. Wow. And there's this car that stops kind of like a little ways down to my right. Okay, jewelers. Give her something that will last a lifetime. And if you don't believe me, just ask the dinosaur bones that it's made of. Ha yeah. Talk about a carbon footprint. Okay, Girl Gate. But yeah, this car pulled up, and just because you know what you're doing doesn't always mean somebody else does, or that they care. So, I was kind of like, I was just walking, I kind of pulled out my camera, and I'm just, like, I'm just gonna take front shots of the building. And like, he opened his door at one point, he or she, and they got out, but they didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay. I just went ahead and went for it. See, I was like, man, y'all, man, I might not be stepping on my game, but you need to quit stepping on my game. Oh, this place is huge. We're in the food court now. Hey, you're right, Urban Explorations. You were right. This is a beautiful food court. It's unfortunate, all the vandalism, but It's okay. We got some good natural light in a lot of places. Let's see. I think we all know this is just going to be like an innocuous. Oh yeah, we got the. Why do I get so excited about clothes dryers or hand dryers? We got the baby changing station. Never leave child unattended. Well, duh. But they don't make the signs unless somebody did it. I just had to pee for a second. What's this here? We got cologne. Motrin. Fragrance, breath freshener, bad breath, and chapstick. Ew, it smells gross in here. Because it's a bathroom, C4. I have fun with myself. Authorized personnel, that must, maybe there's offices back here. Oh yeah. Wow. Oh, try to get better light in there. This may have been a break room. We got a first aid kit and a lock. Fridge is already open. Hand dryer. Hey BD, I love you. That's sweet. Microwaves. San Francisco. Silly fish. I'm gonna do it. I said it on the video yesterday. And I know Urbax vibes. Oh, security office maybe? Yeah. Say security. Urbax vibes will do it. They'll be like, I know we're not supposed to open the fridge. And you have comments all day. Why did you open the fridge? Don't open the fridge. And it's like, that's the first rule of Urbax. Like, the first rule of Urbax, never do this alone. I break that rule all the time. I shouldn't, but I do. That looks like do you see that down there, like right by, here, hold on. I think it's just a hole in the wall, but I mean, it really does look like a person just standing there, like a silhouette or a shadow figure. That's cool. I remember those. Yeah, but anyways, it's a first rule of Urbex, never open the fridge. And so I say, second rule of Urbex, just this one time, it'll be fine. Oh, wow, this is so cool. Man, I wish you were here with me, Mr. Explorations. But I know he's been here, so. And, if it doesn't get demolished before we go out again, we can hit it up. And we've got like plenty of sites. We have a plan to go to another state and hit up some places here in beginning of summer. And it's so overgrown. Look at that, guys. Something a lot of people say is when you're shooting, don't point your camera down. And I have a bad habit of doing that, but I've been trying to get better. But yeah, we got some plans there. He wants to come up to my area, and I got some great shots or spots to show him. A little snack bar. I got the cash box. Let's see, 25 minutes. Hold on, I'm clearing. debris here. Look at that. I hear sirens. It's like there's a police station nearby. Well, let's face it, y'all. And we say it in every video when we hear sirens. They ain't going lights and sirens for an urban explorer. It's one thing that I've really kind of gotten into as far as, let's see, oh, there ain't nothing in there. Talking about, you get people to comment about trespassing and stuff like that. Yeah, and I understand. I mean, y'all have concern. I mean, some people are just haters, and they're always going to hate, and they're always going to complain. And I mean, if that's you, whatever. But I mean, you get people to say, you realize you are trespassing. And they make it sound like such a horrible thing. Oh my God, there's a security guard right there. And wow, okay, it doesn't look like it's been being used. Okay, I probably shouldn't do this. So we got the public safety office. I'm not sure how far over I am. I don't see any cameras. Okay. Wow, that is trashed out. Get away from this window. Oh, there's a bird. Security guard. Yeah, that guy ain't running a while. But here's the thing. I'm going to go on a big lecture again, guys. I am so sorry. Not really, but I am. But, my thinking is, and a lot of urban explorers, is that, look, like, that, you can't pick and choose the laws that they make to follow or not follow. There's accountability sometimes, if you do something wrong. If you, there's a little bird. Hi, birdie. What's up, buddy? Like, I mean, if you spit on a sidewalk and somebody sees you spit on a sidewalk, you might get your butt kicked over it. I mean, not literally, but you trespass in a building. You might have somebody that's really, really pissed and go nuts on you about it. And you just got to kind of take your lump sometimes. I mean, advocate for yourself, but I look at it this way. And it's kind of I know I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry, guys, but I look at it this way. Trespassing is a crime, kind of what would you call it? An infraction that simply protects the owners of buildings. Number one, from people who go into these places or walk around or whatever, whether with good or bad intent, and they hurt themselves. And our laws are written to where theoretically you can sue somebody and say, hey, I got access to your building and I hurt myself. I went through a floor. I have PTSD. There's something, whatever, I'm not making a joke out of PTSD. I mean, like mental, trauma is just as bad and can be worse than, physical trauma. But anyways, and they sue. And a jury and the judge or whoever awards that person for doing something they shouldn't have been doing and getting hurt because somebody else, quote unquote, didn't do their job, didn't secure it enough, didn't hold their little hands and tell them, hey, maybe you shouldn't, do that. You might get hurt. Also, you have, of course, a lot of people that come in to places, whether it's abandoned or not, for nefarious reasons, like vandalism, theft. Maybe they unalive somebody and they're trying to hide the body or whatever. I mean, just anything. It doesn't even have to be anything that dramatic, but I mean, it hurts the resale value, and it hurts. Oh wow, it hurts the property like this here. I mean, they're going to try to appraise this property, and I mean, any appraiser is going to be like, hell no. I mean, this is horrible. This is a safety and health hazard. So they lose money, and I mean, like, kind of screw the corporations, but in this one, I kind of get it with them. I understand, because regardless of why you abandoned the property, regardless of why you haven't been able to fix it up or do whatever, at the end of the day, you're trying to protect your assets. So you have to have these kind of laws, obviously, and you're not, as an urban explorer. And of course, there's a big difference between an urban explorer and, like, say, a vandal. All you're doing is documenting. You walk through and you're taking pictures. Oh wait, oh shit. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and okay. I don't know if I'm at the more active part of the mall. I'm probably close to it. You're not hurting anybody. You're not, putting somebody's life at risk, I guess. I mean, arguably, except for your own. So it's not a crime against a person. It's not something that I feel like you shouldn't be. I mean, yeah, they're going to fine you maybe. They might, for, breaking a code violation. They might even put you in jail, depending on what property it is. As well as all the other risks that are inherent with, being in an abandoned place. Or walking in your local Walmart and slipping on a puddle. And of course, they have liability insurance and stuff a lot of times. And, wow, more gumballs. So it's a moral versus, would you call it venial, I guess? It's kind of in reference to, like, sins. A moral sin or a venal sin. Venial or venal. An intent doesn't necessarily mean anything any more than ignorance of the law. You can't say, well, I didn't know I was breaking the law. You knew what you were doing. I've been very lucky. I mean, I've been caught before in places, and I've never been arrested. I've never been sent to jail. Knock on wood. Wow. But some people have, and some people, I mean, they'll knock you out for it. Oh wow, restaurant. It's so dark in here. They'll really sometimes, I mean, if you're on a state property, if you're on a place that, you just got an owner sick and tired of idiots coming in and stealing stuff and whatever, yeah, they'll nail you to the wall if they want to, and some of that's kind of based on, like your social engineering skills, being able to, you just be respectful and try to talk your way out of it. Let them know, hey, I'm not here to hurt anybody. And, you never know. You might actually just get out okay. Get out with a stern warning. You're almost always going to get that lecture, that big long lecture about why you shouldn't. Wow, that is cool. Why you shouldn't be doing this. So yeah, like, I guess in my very, very long-winded way, I am basically saying, of course we all, everybody is people. We appreciate your concern. And believe me, we understand what we're doing. We know exactly what we're doing. And I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, I got this, I'm gonna survive, because I mean it's just like anything else in life, you don't know. But we know what we're doing, and we're not hurting anybody. Somebody says, oh well, that's just like somebody walked into your house, you got the door open, and walk right in. No, because no, you were not granted permission. But that's an active residence. Obviously somebody lives there. And I mean, I guess it's kind of a gray area with squatters. I mean, I always try to avoid squatter nests, um, that kind of thing. But, it's not equivalent. That's like saying, you get busted one day driving 80 miles an hour in a 65 on a clear day, nobody on the road except you. Empty, straightaway highway, perfect visibility. And you get busted by a cop, and he pulls you over and says, "But you were doing, 15 over." I mean, yeah, you're driving risky. I mean, because you just don't know. I mean, you're more of a danger to yourself and to, whatever property you might hit. But I mean, let's face it, at 70 miles an hour, your brakes could go out. You blow a tire, and maybe it's the same result. It's two different situations with possibly the same outcome. The next day, you're driving 60 miles an hour through a residential zone, school zone. Clear day, you don't see any people anywhere. And you get pulled over, they're going to throw the book at you. Because there's just so much more that you're going to risk for other people, And so, it's comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion, and the opinion of other urban explorers. And we all have our own little, some people don't stage shots, some people don't take anything. Like I don't like to take anything. But some people, justify that and say, well, I found a pamphlet and it was kind of cool. I found a poker chip, and there was like thousands of them laying around, and then 3 weeks later the building gets demolished. So you're just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, some people stage shots. I don't. Sometimes I do, but wow, yeah, okay. This might be about as far as I can go over here. Was this a theater? Wow. I wonder. I think there was a theater in here. Express. We got a picture of a dude up there. It looks more like a studio, like photography. I'm talking a little softer because I'm just trying to be careful. I've been in here for a while. Nope, we got fitting rooms. Really don't want my luck to run out because I'm going to be taking so many pictures leaving this place. So it looks like sound system, cassette tape deck. Guys, I really hope you guys enjoy this. I'm kind of happy with my videos generally. Sometimes I feel like I miss things or I go a little too fast, and then you watch it later and you're like, whoa, what? But I hope you all have enjoyed this. This is going to be one of the more lengthy videos that I've done for obvious reasons. This place is so huge. I want to cover everything. And, my understanding is that this mall most likely is probably going to end up getting either reused or not, you know what I mean, like repurposed, whatever they call it. Today's Explorer is brought to you by the letter A. Or the letter G? No, E. Or maybe it's a schwa. But anyways, yeah, I think it's Urban Explorations mentioned. He said that they're talking about demolishing it pretty soon. So obviously, this is one of those places that you want to get to before it's gone, because yeah, you can't explore an abandoned field. You kind of can, but it's boring. There's too much grass. Although I do love nature. So that's cool. I wonder if that was like a Spencer's right there. I keep hearing sounds. Pretty sure it isn't people. There's all kinds of stuff like falling and blowing in the wind. All it takes is for like somebody just to come in here. Oh wow, that's cool. Looks like maybe an athletic store, clothing store. We got women, we got men, and we got utes. If you're from my cousin Vinny, we got two utes. What is a ute? Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Two utes. Okay. Oh, I'm about done with this. Okay. My phone's gonna cut off here in about 30 seconds, so I'm gonna stop it here. I want to thank y'all for being here. I want to thank y'all for checking this out. I really hope you enjoyed this. This is quite a monumental place. This is C4